Three.
Na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn, na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn.
Hey there, Slumpbusters. It has finally happened. Season 3 of Cobra Kai is here, and I gotta say, folks, it is fantastic. We gotta start somewhere, though. We gotta start at episode 1 of what turned out to be a fantastic season. So, C Money, what'd you think of episode 1 of Cobra Kai season 3?
Episode 1 is a really, really good episode, especially to set up what's to come. You have the aftermath of the school-wide fight. You see where all the characters are at. One character is missing. One character is going through PTSD. One's in a coma. This episode is just great. It was a great setup, and it just really, really pumped me up for the rest of the season, and it made me very curious to see what's going to happen.
I really like the cinematography at the start with choreographing Miguel's dream sequence of him in the coma, thinking about the All Valley tournament. I thought that was a very ambiguous way to start the season, because it made you believe for a brief second that, okay, Miguel's somehow okay. Maybe this is a fast forward sequence. And then we find out it was just a dream sequence of him battling through the coma. And I thought it was appropriate. He's having this constant battle of counter striking and no real offense in it, as he's just spinning in circles around it in an endless loop inside that coma. I thought that was really well done. Another big thing that happened throughout this episode, obviously we know the actor that played Aisha, she didn't come back. Were you happy with how they brought that to the audience's attention?
Yeah, I'm actually really glad how they did it, because it makes sense. I mean, your daughter's involved in a school-wide fight. Of course you would move your daughter to a private school. So that made sense, especially since they're all teenagers. And I feel like later on, because I did read that the writers do want to bring her back, just they wanted to sit her for now. I do see them bringing her back in a really epic and pretty cool way.
Now,
what did you think about it?
I thought that was really well done. Again, you mentioned it, it just made sense. Similarly to, I couldn't have ever seen her being a part of Cris's dojo, and we'll get into Cris's dojo as the season progresses, but she would have not been a logical fit there. On the adult side of things, Johnny and Daniel both going through their own personal struggles. Johnny, in many ways, it seems like he's back to episode 1 of season 1. He's beat up mentally, he's beat up physically. Obviously, he's in a bit of disarray coming off what happened with Miguel. Obviously, it was his son. It's well publicized that it's his son that caused the incident. How do you think about Johnny's initial struggle? Did you like that coming out the gate?
Yeah, I did. I like that because, I mean, how wouldn't Johnny feel guilty? I mean, his star student is in a coma because of his son. I mean, if I was in that situation, I'd be going through a depression too. I'd be starting fights with random people at the bar. What did you think about it?
Well, I think I'd be starting fights anyway, because I'm a Giants fan. They had some Dodgers fans. They were celebrating a walk-off home run. The disrespect. I can't even watch Cobra Kai without seeing that nonsense on my TV. Get out of here. Anyway, it makes sense. Like, you're right, where Johnny's personally at. As far as Daniel's thing, he's held liable because, again, it's his student. It's well publicized. It's his student that put Miguel in that situation. And he was the one that kind of in many ways started this karate rivalry again, because yes, Johnny brought back Cobra Kai, but Daniel's response to bring back Miyagi-Do in many ways started this contentious war that bubbled to the surface in season 2. And he's feeling a lot of guilt because of that as well. And it's obviously hit a huge PR campaign. Obviously, when you base your entire car dealership off being the karate guy, kicking the competition, it's going to affect your business model, which on the bright side, with business being a little slow, it got us to have the return of probably one of the best characters in Cobra Kai history. Who was at the return? Tell us.
Daniel's cousin Louis.
My cousin Louis. Good to see ya.
And he returns in the funniest way. He goes up to Amanda and Daniel and says, "Hey guys, I need to show you something, and I promise you, it's not porno."
I feel like he should have said this time. This time. That would fit Louis' character. But it does bring up an interesting debate. Do you like the cranberry bagels or not?
I thought that was so funny how he just brought up, oh yeah, they're crap, don't eat those. Because I mean, if you go to Einstein's Bagels, the cranberry ones are always full. In my opinion, every time I go, they're always full, but every other bagel's gone already.
You got all the options there. It makes sense that the cranberry is going to be left to the side. You could buy that in the store. Einstein's got it all. Don't settle for less, King. Okay, but so obviously what's going on also in the school? We got the return of Yasmin. Sam's going through her struggle. She's going through a little bit of PTSD, as you mentioned, because of the whole incident with Tori. The kids are all having this whole thing, and just because there's a lot of press conferences, a lot of news surrounding it, doesn't mean that the quote-unquote war started. We saw some contentious moments between Dimitri, Hawk, Assface, and I forget the other one's name. But still.
Oh, Chris. I love that line that Chris tells Assface. Hey man, I got this new book. There's a lot of hard-hitting shit in here. Oh man, I couldn't stop laughing at that. And then it shows the flashback of him hitting him in the face with the book.
You know that there was just like a writer that was just laughing their ass off putting that dialogue in there the whole day. Overall, though, like it was a good episode. It was a good way to kick off the season, and I feel like it really dialed back the pace from where season 2 was heading. I feel like in many ways, and I mentioned my problems with season 2. I felt that it was a little bit too over the top. I felt like this one helped it ground a little bit more in reality. And for that, I'm going to say it had warning track power. Not quite that walk-off home run that we saw in the bar fight sequence, but warning track power to kick off the season. 4 stars. What do you think, C-Money?
I would say 4 stars as well. This episode is a very, very good setup to the rest of the season. There was even a scene where Sam was questioning, are we the good guys? And you kind of ask yourself, is Miyagi-Do really the good guys? I mean,
that's the theme of the whole show, right? Who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy? Maybe there's an area of gray. Yeah. And I will say this, because we actually mentioned it in our last review, and it was interesting that it came up, but they did give a shout out to one of the actors that passed away recently from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid, Rob Garrison. Shout out to you. This episode was dedicated to you. This review also dedicated to you. Remember, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Show no mercy to that subscribe button. Leave a like, leave a comment on what you liked about season 3, episode 1, and we'll talk it out in the comments. Any fun theories, we'd like to hear them below as well. Anyway, guys, we'll catch you later.
See ya.